got it. Okay, sorry.
All right, so as you leave Joaquin's General Goods, you step back out onto the high road, and the sun is starting to set. It's sort of getting on towards evening. You guys estimate you have probably time to visit one more shop if you want before night falls and everything shuts up for the night.
Was there a place for them to go? Oh, I wanted to try to find a musical instrument.
Oh yeah, a viola, right?
A musical instrument.
A viola.
A viol?
That's what it says.
All right, hang on.
That's like a violin.
I'm sure it's in the family. It's any of a family of stringed instruments.
So you kind of ask around, and basically the only place would be the New Olam's Academy of Music and Fine Arts. And they generally have a section where they craft instruments and such, and they do have some for sale.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to find like a violin.
Okay.
Something small.
Okay. So you guys head over that way. This is all the way over. I'm going to have to move you. That's a ways away. This is going to take most of the rest of your day to make this trip.
It's okay.
I love being in towns.
It's fun.
Sure beats Baroon.
Well, you guys have fun on the battlefields. This is my battle.
Yeah.
All right, you guys head past the Sword's Rest, back up the high road, past the Unicorn's Horn Inn, and you head down Waterdeep Way. And at this point, you can see Castle Waterdeep directly to your south. And you see that there's this huge mountain that is Mount Waterdeep that sort of backs the entire city. And then on the top of the mountain, you see a stone griffin that's sort of perched on top. And this is one of the famous 8 walking statues of Waterdeep. Other ones that you see as you're walking through, let me see if I can show you some pictures just so you guys can get the idea. So, one that you see is... Oh, where did it go?
So how long did that fart gas last?
6 hours.
6 hours.
Okay, so are you just got a stream of pink all the way down the road?
Period.
Yes.
I think it's staggered. It wasn't just constant.
Oh, okay.
Flatulence.
Well, the only one that I have is kind of jacked up.
Punctuating the walk, you know? And it's just like, it's the dazzle of the dazzlers.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've been staying in open areas too, so
Does it stink or does it smell nice?
you tell me. It's not.
pink. Is that
You know,
normal?
it's actually interesting. It smells faintly of bubblegum.
Yeah, so see, like, that's pleasant. It's like you're a cotton candy advertiser, you know?
So you
It's actually
see,
enjoyable, drawing more of a crowd.
you see the Hawkman that is this large figure with a sort of a helmet on. All these are, again, granite statues. He has these wings that are coming out of his back, and he's sort of standing there at attention. You also passed the Honorable Knight, which is down in the Trades Ward. This is a fully plate-mailed, huge statue sort of holding a sword like this at his chest and such. So you end up heading down here to this area, and you do end up eventually coming to the location of New Olam's Academy of Fine Arts and Music. You enter, and there's a rather thin-looking individual there at the front. He looks over at you and goes, "I'm sorry, we're about to close."
It should only take a moment. I'm looking for a simple, standard violin instrument.
Ah, well, of course, please, come in, come in. He sort of sizes you up, and he says, "Are you a student? Are you looking for lessons?"
I'm not looking for lessons. I know my way around a violin. I just have been traveling and haven't had access to one. So
Excellent. Well, were you looking for a beginner's instrument or something a little more advanced?
probably a little nicer than a beginner's instrument. Just standard, something you could use for performances and things.
Perfect. He says, "One moment." He sort of steps back behind, opens the curtain, comes back out, shows you a violin in a case. It is very nicely worked, brand new. He says, "This was made by our own student craftsman here. It's the equal of any instrument you'll find, but I can give it to you at a discount because it is a student make."
That sounds fine to me. And supporting local business, that sounds great. You guys make it here. That's even better.
So he brings it, opens it to you, he says, "Would you like to play?"
I'll give it a shot.
Right.
It's been a while.
Roll a performance check.
Let's see how it is.
You got this.
Yeah, performance is not my forte. Let's see if this works.
Oh, and a clutch roll.
How's it going?
All right. So, so you basically are able to, I mean, you're a little rusty. You miss a few notes here and there. Just some simple scales up and down. You pluck the strings, make sure it's tuned correctly. He goes, impressive. You do have some chops. He says, for that, you can have it for 50 gold pieces.
You know what? I'm not even going to haggle. Deal.
Done. So you have a violin that is very finely made and the case for 50 gold.
Well, thank you so much for the business and, selling it to us right as you're about to close. I know that can be frustrating, but I appreciate it, and we'll see you around.
Of course. He ushers you out, closes the door. You hear it kind of lock behind you as he's closing up for the night. As you guys make your way back down the streets, the sun's beginning to set over the city walls. You see various lights going on in taverns and such. Things seem to be winding down. A lot of shopkeepers are kind of closing up for the night, and the evening revelries are beginning in the city. What would you guys like to do?
I think we need
Well,
to...
boys, do you want to head back?
I think we need to try to get a gig.
We
That's true, too.
We could go to the Yawning Portal. We could Blues Brothers in. Like, we're the band tonight.
Real
Yes.
quick, what was the name of that place I bought the violin from?
That was Olan's, OLAMN's, Academy of Fine Arts and Music
Okay, perfect.
in Waterdeep. So you guys are heading to the Yawning Portal?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way back down towards the Yawning Portal, which is... Where is it again? Hang on, I got to go to my interactive map of all things here. Okay. It's actually not that far. It's actually fairly close to Castle Waterdeep. So, you guys are here. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Castle Waterdeep.
Uh-huh. So you head down Snail Street. And you come to Rain Run Street, and you take a right. And there you are, once again, at the Yawning Portal. I will bring you up a little picture here.
There's a picture.
Mm-hmm. They always see. I think this is the picture you had on the landing page, right?
Oh,
something
yeah,
similar
we've
to-
been here. I forgot. We have been here.
Yeah, so you guys make your way back into the Yawning Portal. You see that it is, in typical fashion, packed with patrons. All three levels of this tavern have people eating, drinking, laughing. You see a few gambling games going on, individuals rolling dice. And as always, there is the huge pit in the center where there's a huge crane that kind of angles over the pit and is available there with a platform on it to lower individuals down into the depths of the Undermountain. You guys make your way...
Rick, is Neverwinter a big town? Like a really popular town in this world?
Neverwinter or Waterdeep?
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter is kind of a medium-sized town. It is fairly large. I mean, it's not nearly as big as Waterdeep, though.
Would my character know two of the biggest inns in that town?
Probably, yeah. I mean, given what you do, yeah, I think
You're
so.
a bard, right?
What would they do? Could I just make up two names?
Yeah. What names are you gonna make up?
I don't know. The Eagle's Inn and
The Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Roost.
Okay.
And the Leaky Harlot.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! That can't be one of the biggest.
Wow. Akrus out of nowhere with the clutch tavern name. All right, so what are you guys doing? You guys are just heading in, getting a.
Live music here at the Yawning Portal.
There's a few areas. It's a huge tavern. I mean, it's 3 levels, so you do see there's a couple little areas, but there's some space. There is an empty stage that you see on the second floor. It's not the main stage. The main stage already is occupied by a group of minstrels.
Are they good?
You take a listen, and yeah, I mean, they're pretty good. Even Razzler is impressed with their ability. I mean, this is the Yawning Portal. It's one of the most famous taverns in all of Faerun, so.
Cool, there you go.
Are we moving up to... do we want to get a seat, or do we want to find somebody that might be a proprietor of this establishment?
What do we want to do here?
Well, we kind of said we had a gig. I think we need to get a gig.
Do we want to have a gig, or are we just lying?
I think we just walk on stage and start playing.
Well, there's already a band. That's pretty
No,
inappropriate.
he just said on the second floor there's an empty stage.
Oh, okay.
The main
Yeah,
stage.
let's go.
has some-
We never
Let's
said
go
we were main
upstairs.
stage. Yeah, let's just go play.
Are you guys all
I
ready?
like it. I got my
have-
bongos, baby.
we have
I
a
got a brand new
practice.
violin, baby.
All right.
I'm ready for some fiddling.
All right, so you guys make your way up to the second floor, to the stage, and one of the waiters comes up and he's like, I'm sorry, this is not available for performance tonight. We have no one scheduled.
Oh, we were hoping to be the new band.
Would you like someone to be scheduled?
And he looks at you and he says, and you are?
We are Razzler and the Dazzler, featuring Akrus.
Was there any prestidigitation involved there?
Yeah, I do a little prestidigitation behind us to give off like a
Did he
little
do
glow.
like miniature fireworks?
Yeah,
Like
like a
small
little
fireworks,
glow,
yeah.
glow
Little-
behind us.
Little
so
arcane
that it
sparks.
kinda-
Psh, psh.
like-
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And he goes, really? That's very impressive. I'll have to check with Durnan. He is the owner and proprietor of the area. He says,
Right.
Wait here one moment. He sort of
Okay, guys,
heads
we're not waiting.
Can we
Leaves
start
off.
playing?
Yeah, get up
heads
there.
down.
Let's start.
You guys are going to
tuning
start?
in.
All right, you guys
We're
get
gonna
up there and
start
start
tuning
tuning up. You see some of the patrons around kind of look kind of oddly, but, sort of, oh, there's a band, neat. They just kind of start to get interested. You guys all tune up.
You go right up to the table.
Yeah. And so a few minutes pass. You guys are all tuned up. Are you guys going to start playing?
You guys
Yeah.
ready? You want to?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, sure.
Kick it
Yeah,
off,
let's
Razzler.
start playing.
All right. All right. Razzler, roll a performance check first as you start off. So you start off.
15.
Fingers are a little stiff. They haven't quite loosened up yet, but you start off with a nice sort of a slow ballad, sort of a plaintive, kind of a sad song as you start off, and the room kind of goes a little quieter as people kind of lean forward and wonder what's going on next. All right, who's coming in next after that?
I'll do it.
All right, Elster, roll a performance check.
I'm nervous.
Oh no!
No!
Elster, Razzler, you come to the point of the song where it sort of just comes up to this perfect crescendo, and then you just hear as Elster just kind of drags the bow across the strings, and one of the strings just kind of breaks. You look back, and he's just kind of sheepishly looking at you, kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Hey, at least I'm out of it
I
quick.
just
alright?
I just play through it.
He plays louder. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and Akrus, as the bass comes in, please roll a performance check.
More bass guitar.
All right, so you actually are able to kind of pick up from the slight misstep by Elster there, and you're able to kind of pick up the bass. And now Gaius on, what is it, the bongos,
bongos.
apparently?
Yeah.
Can I try to fix my string while they're?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a dexterity check.
Ooh,
Surprisingly, Gaius, even without the gloves, comes in and perfectly
Oh, well, yeah.
takes care of it. All right, so Elster, you're able to kind of get your string kind of restrung. You have a spare one in the case. You kind of go down and restring it, and you come in right at the perfect time. Again, roll one more performance check, please.
no, it's like these are more important than our combat ones.
Yeah.
All right, so
These are harder than our
It's
combat.
all right. It's all right. You guys kind of make it through the song. You come together as a band. You start to kind of vibe off each other a little bit.
If I
And
get charisma, if I get music lessons, can I get plus charisma?
possibly, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you guys come to the end of the song, and you see sort of standing over against one of the pillars on this floor, an individual. He just sort of claps, comes over, and he says, "Name's Dernan. I'm the owner here, and it would have been nice if you'd have waited for permission before you started playing."
Well, we didn't know that we needed permission, but we're sorry that happened. Did you like our song?
It was passable.
Well, we promise. That was just a quick little warm-up. We've been heated in battle and just started resting up, so we're hoping to get a gig around here. Be regulars.
Battle, you say, adventurers?
Something of the sort.
I used to be an adventurer myself. That's how I came by this place.
We could tell, looking at your stature.
That's really
Stoic
interesting. We were
demeanor.
thinking about doing that too once we settle down and starting a tavern
Don't let them know we're competition.
in a different city and many leagues away.
Just stop.
Please ignore our father. He's a little senile at times.
He's always talking about Torm and whatever.
Yeah.
So he kind of looks at you and he just shakes his head and he goes, "All right, the stage is yours for the night, but in the future, the house takes 20% of anything you get. You got me?"
Yeah, starting out, that sounds great. We'll work on it from there.
He says, "All right. If you ever want to talk adventuring, come on downstairs. I'm behind the bar." He sort of turns around and walks
Great.
out.
That's a good idea.
That's a good adventure.
All right, so you guys spend the evening performing at the Yawning Portal.
We do shout out Mofindar's Fine Imports.
Yeah,
That is it. Yeah.
I want to say that Kaz sent us.
Excellent.
Have you created a song for Mofindar's already, Razzler? Is that
Not yet, but
Oh,
we'll
you're
figure
gonna
it
sing
out.
a jingle?
like a jingle?
Get him a jingle.
Yeah, we'll figure out a jingle.
Oh man, I want to hear the jingle.
Yes, you do need to figure out a jingle. That would be most important. So
Okay.
you
I
guys,
was wondering if we could say we played the jingle tonight, and then next
Sure.
time we can have a jingle.
yes, okay. Yeah, you guys kind of
Whatever
can
the
improvise. Actually, Razzler, roll a performance check as you try to improvise the jingle during the break of the band.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
we go. Let's go.
It's perfect. Ready to.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you sort of just start
Mofindar.
doing a little thing, and it's like,
Imports,
if you
yeah,
need really overpriced stuff, come to Mofindar's. Yeah, whatever.
Break me off a piece of that fancy feast. Nailed it.
All right, so you guys are able to make your way through the performance of the night. If Razzler could roll 2D... Actually, just roll a D100 for me, please.
Wild magic.
54. All right. So you guys net 54 silver pieces for your performance.
And they get 20%?
He said
Yeah.
after
And
tonight.
they get 20% after tonight. So your first one is on the house. After this, if you come back, it's 20% of the cut.
I'm sure he's gonna miss that 10
Got it.
silver real bad.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to write that? I'll write that.
Hey, just
Okay.
take it. It's fine. It's 5 gold. It's whatever.
Put it in the platinum pouch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting a spreadsheet so we can keep
Great.
track of all of it.
Exciting.
Oh yeah.
And as a working band, you do get a meal on the house. So you do end up
Hey.
eating dinner, and you get 1 mug of ale. Anything else above that, you have to pay for. And at the end of the evening, the clientele start to kind of taper down. You do see through the course of the evening several groups of adventurers get lowered down into the pit itself. You see a few more of them that actually come back up. When they do come back up, they pay the toll. Several of them are bloodied. They have bandages around their heads. Their armor is torn and shredded in certain places, and they kind of limp over. But every time someone comes up out of the portal, there's a huge cheer that comes up from the crowd as they cheer anyone who has survived the depths below.
And those were different adventurers than were lowered tonight?
Yes.
Interesting.
So,
It's a multi-day type thing, maybe.
So as you guys finish up your evening at the Yawning Portal, you make your way back to the Sword's Rest. And as you do so, you enter, and the innkeeper's there. He looks at you and he says, Good thing you came in. I was just about to lock up here. Your room's still waiting for you. It'll be 2 silver apiece for the room. So that's 1 gold piece between you.
We paid for it.
Actually, it's 8 silver. I'm sorry, it's 8 silver.
I gave it to him.
Okay. He says, this did come for you today. And he sort of reaches underneath and he pulls out a small piece of parchment with a seal on it. Hands it over.
Oh, God, is it Strahd?
Oh man, it's work. I don't want to work. I just want to live in the city all day and party.
Strahd. What?
Work sucks. Let's just retire in the city and go shopping all day.
What's the seal look like?
It's not one that you recognize, Gaius. The innkeeper says, pardon me for saying, but it's got the seal of the Council of Waterdeep. It must be important. You may want to open that.
Oh,
Let's
crack
go
it
to our
open.
room and open it.
Yeah, we'll open
Okay.
it in the room. Thank you.
You take it up to your rooms, you open it, and it is a summons to appear before one of the masked lords of Waterdeep at first light in the morning. It doesn't say why or what it's about. It just says, you are hereby summoned to appear before one of the masked lords of Waterdeep at first light.
Is it a specific one or just one of them?
It just says a masked lord.
Does it say where we appear?
Yeah, it says that it's actually at the Palace of Waterdeep, which is actually, you passed it. It's this beautiful area over in the Castle Ward that's kind of quarantined off or cordoned off with a fence, wrought iron fence around it, several guards around the area. You get the impression, just sort of walking through the city, it's a seat of government.
Is it
Do you know
addressed
anything
specifically to us?
It just says, quote, Razzler and the Dazzlers, end quote. There is no
No
featuring
featuring
a
cruise.
cruise.
Have fun, nerds. I ain't going.
I think we just send a cruise. That's what we do. That's the response.
Do we know anything about what the masked lords even means? Like what it is?
Roll a history check.
Okay.
So I have a question while he's doing that. Passive insight. What does that do?
Whoa. Passive insight?
No, it's
Passive perception is like your ability to just sort of detect things as you're just walking along. I would assume passive insight would be used to sort of innately know if someone's lying or not, but usually that requires a check.
Right.
Oh, some DMs use those for like instead of us saying, I search for traps like 500 times. It's like the passive.
Yeah, that's what they're
automatic.
supposed to be for. So perception would be like you notice traps
Yeah.
if your number's high enough. Just D&D Beyond splits them out into perception, investigation, and insight, 3 separate ones. I was just curious because my insight one is like 18.
Well, I prefer to make you look for traps so I can spring them on you and kill you with them.
No. What I do is not look for traps.
Oh, there you go.
That's
yeah,
true.
you find them with your face.
All right, so
Intentionally don't check.
a brief history of Waterdeep that you recall, Gaius, and then after this we'll wrap it up for the evening.
Okay.
So Waterdeep, since you rolled a 25, you actually had a special interest in the history of Waterdeep since it was the town where your order was located and that you originally took your oath in. So Waterdeep originally was an elven settlement called Elithandar. And the elves lived here for quite some time. And they allied with the dwarves who found mithril under the mountain itself. And the dwarves mined under the mountain, making this complex maze of tunnels. And the elves actually used elven magic to help sort of reinforce the walls so that the entire mountain and city wouldn't collapse. Unfortunately, the dwarves sort of delved into an area and opened a breach into what was rumored to be the Underdark. And they were chased out of the tunnels by various creatures. And so the tunnels were abandoned, and the elves, several centuries later, abandoned the settlement as well. Humans moved in and found an abandoned city. The creatures had retreated back into wherever they came from. So humans kind of settled in the area. And several centuries later, there was the first open lord of Waterdeep. And this guy's name was Agharon. And he was the first lord. And he actually established a method of government where there was one open lord and 7 masked lords. And each of those lords held equal power in the running of the government. And the masked lords were masked so that they could be completely impartial in making their decisions and they wouldn't be influenced by anyone. So their identities are completely secret and very tightly held. Only the open lord is known.
And 7 masked lords?
Yeah. So only the open lord's identity is known. And the current open lord is an elven woman by the name of Laeral Silverhand, who was an arcane magic user who was instrumental in defending the city several decades ago when the spell plague happened and the statues that were now the walking statues of Waterdeep actually animated and began to destroy the city. And she was one of the ones that helped bring those back under control. So she is the current open lord, but you don't know, there are 7 masked lords, but you don't know the identity of any of them. In fact, no one does.
Cool.
Not even them.
They don't even know their own identity. Exactly. So, all right. So with that, we will call it a night and call it a stream and a game. Good job. You guys did some decent shopping. You met some interesting shopkeepers. You had some fun in the city. And we will pick it up there next week with you guys deciding what are you going to do with this summons that you have.
I still have 2 eagles to sell.
Well, and you still have opportunities to do various things in the city. You've only scratched the surface of Waterdeep so far.
There's so
Yep.
much.
I know.
All right, so good job. Apologies to the stream for the audio screw up, but now we have it fixed. That should not be an issue anymore. And thanks for watching, and give us a follow if you can. We stream Saturday nights at 7 Central until right about this time. Sunday nights, not Saturday, Sunday. Sorry. Sunday night, 7 Central until about this time.
9 or 10. Yep.
Yep.